everyone, and welcome back to Empire Total War with the American Civil War mod. We're closing in on the end as the Union only controls 4 territories. And the last time around we took one of their last strongholds, which was Albany, East New York. But at a heavy cost, as we can see, Lee's army is in no shape to fight the enemy. Hopefully, as I end turn later on after this video, neither this army nor this will go ahead and strike us, as they are within, I think, pretty good range to actually go ahead and attack Lee at East Albany. So we got that problem. Possibly this turn we're gonna go ahead and attack Boston and that siege. So yeah, it's about high time we started thinking about probably a next campaign, but obviously save it until the actual community post to actually post anything about it. So yeah, without further ado, I think we'll go ahead and just start this off. So we've got Pickett, 4 units of 12-pounders, Napoleon artillery, loads of volunteers, and 2 kind of elite brigades with Greg's brigade. Blah. Why am I having trouble saying brigade all of a sudden? Greg's brigade. I guess it's trouble saying just because it's, I don't know, Greg's brigade rather than orphan brigade. It's a little bit easier for some reason. I don't know. The accuracy of both of these is 55 compared to, say, a volunteer, which is 37. So they have a lot better accuracy than a lot of these units. The only thing that matched them is the Pennsylvania Bucktails. However, I believe these guys have higher morale than the Bucktails, and probably melee attack as well. So it's a really good unit. With that said, let's go ahead and attack, shall we? And there before us lies Boston, the target of this campaign by Pickett. Right, they've already gone through a fight, I believe, Pickett's brigade. They were able to push through at the bridge, if I remember correctly, a few turns ago. Anyways, let's go over how I've set up the army. We've got 12-pounder cannons. We've got the 12-pounder Napoleons. I don't know why I said that in that way. English is falling apart at this point. Right, I've got my 2 12-pounder Napoleons up on the high hill, being able to lob shells into town or over town, which is more important. And we've got 2 on this side to be able to cover the open ground on this side. We've got the brigades that I'm going to send forward, namely Greg's, on right over there. And we got the orphan one up there, and then the volunteers are basically split up in units here to defend the cannons. These 2 will move out on this side. I don't want them in the way of Greg's brigade, so they'll sort of move out there once we start. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start this, shall we? Start to move these out. So the enemy puts everything over here, and most likely the Napoleons will aim for their artillery. So all the artillery shots here in the beginning is going to land against these guys. Want to keep an eye out for the cavalry if they intend to charge us. Might charge us over here, but they'll move straight into deadly fire by Greg's brigade. And the volunteers, shit. I completely seem to have completely forgot about the fact that there were enemy reinforcements coming in. Ah, shit. I don't know if we have time to actually get in position before the cavalry strikes. The lightning brigade is moving in. Wait, hold your fire. Now fire, as the cavalry is coming in. Try to stop the cavalry as best as possible. Doesn't look like that went too well. And the Union cavalry is able to... they stop both of the volunteer units from firing. This is going to be difficult. This volunteer unit will fall back to regroup. We were able to fire a little bit on these guys. And I have ordered one of the artillery pieces to start... No. You're not gonna fire at the cavalry, you're gonna fire at these guys. You're gonna fire at our own men, you morons. Right, we need to disengage to make sure that we can get the cavalry unit. So I'm pretty sure these guys will be enough. This unit's not gonna have a good time though. Got the colored infantry as well, almost actually shattering these guys to the point where they need to retreat outside. Jeez. I think we can spare these two. I'm gonna have to spare something anyways. Put some units over here. Okay, given that there's so many units coming forwards here. Shit. Now they're blasting me with a howitzer shot as well. I'm gonna send all those 3. And then if you actually take a position where you can actually fight, then I can relieve these 2, or at least what we'll do is we'll send one there and we'll have this one go around like that. And let's go ahead and check what's going on the flank. So, shit, the cavalry turned on to this unit. At least they're not being fired upon. These guys have a difficult time. Turn your attention to the colored infantry. And then the artillery will fire on these guys. Our Confederate infantry somehow managed to get through everything and is retreating all the way over there. Look at how close they are. The thing is, I think the colored infantry has higher accuracy. So once they actually return fire, it's gonna be, oh crap. Not only are the 2 units firing at close range, bloody artillery is opening fire as well. So now they're giving up. Ah shit, continuous artillery fire going in here as well. Sending the Greg's brigade to shit. Blowing them to pieces. There's not a lot going on over here, so these 2 artillery needs to help out, fire on this area. Okay, they're outnumbered way too much, and now there's only 1, so we'll have to retreat over there. Ah shit, the artillery just got defeated. They'll have to move into line immediately. And we're forced to regroup. I was not expecting the enemy to break us down this badly. Right, artillery crew, get behind the troops, and we'll have to regroup here. So they basically sent all their infantry to deal with this flank. Artillery, I want canister from that cavalry. At least the Orphan Brigade, without any whatsoever casualties, was able to send off this Suave unit. Now we're gonna wheel to deal with the rest of these bastards. And hopefully we'll be able to stop the cavalry. Doesn't look like we're going to. Shit, dude. We're gonna get another one of my cannon. Possibly. Interestingly enough, shit, my cannon crews. Fuck, hold your fire. This cannon crew just killed the other ones. Yes, at least these guys got their fire off. And how's it going over here? Not too happy with the fact that I lost the forest here. And we're not going to be able to hold that. So we're going to retreat even further. And the line is going to be drawn along this fence. That way at least we can get the enemy out into the open. So I had the advantage of having 4 bloody batteries. Now the advantage has turned to the fact that the enemy has the advantage. Because now they have more batteries than me. God damn it. How was I able to lose that? It was that reinforcement that I was taken by surprise. Come on, get this bloody cavalry unit. Counter charge. Hopefully they'll be able to succeed there. Now the enemy has to go out into the open to face us. Jesus Christ, there's going to be deadly fire over here. Come on, everyone. I need every musket on the line here. Shit. They're not gonna hold. Guess a bloody volunteer. We were able to win over on this side. If we're able to put down enough fire on the colored infantry and those volunteers, we should be able to hold that. Okay, these guys are holding out. Greg's brigade is holding out. Because these guys decided to wheel instead. Thing is, they are outnumbering us. Oh! As soon as these guys gonna fire though. What on earth are they doing? They're throwing away their clear victory. Now they're down to the point where... What are they firing at? They're firing down the line. God damn it, that saved us. How's it going over here? Oh... I want the artillery to hit that one. Now it seems that they've reorganized the troops that came over here to go for the second battery. And as soon as these guys are done, we'll have to pull them back. And you will be pulled back. Right, let's see if we can reclaim the bloody artillery on this side. Seems that we've turned it around at this point. All we need to do is just send them to hell. We need to get through here, get back on the artillery, and defeat that artillery piece up there. There's not a lot of these guys left. Why are you moving out of... Oh yeah, I ordered them to attack. They do have the New York Rangers. So I guess they are maybe given an aura of morale support. The colored infantry looks to be giving way, which means there's going to be 4 units to 1. And certainly the New Yorkers cannot withstand that difference. Right, artillery piece. The enemy's lining up. Ooh, we can get these guys. A bouncing shot bouncing through here could kill the entire battery. Target that. And then these guys are still limbered, so that's fine. These guys kind of giving way. New York Rangers are moving forward. Damn, the colored infantry really... I mean, I can kind of understand it, since the Union is sort of at the last stand at this point. Last stand, I should say. What's up with my English this time around? They're basically at the last stand kind of situation, and these guys don't want to work the plantation. Well, it looks like we won on this side. I don't think I have enough to really push here, especially against overwhelming numbers. So we're gonna wait for these guys to finish off the New York infantry, the Rangers, and once that's done, we can pursue this artillery piece. There's 4 on 1, you should be able to do this. Plus they're in the open. The German Rangers, they hold that as well as their colored brothers. But eventually, they are forced to retreat. Right, we need to strike into action immediately and move to defeat that artillery piece. And also, these guys need to get back on their cannons, start up the second battery. I think both these have had enough, they're not going to come back, so let's march. Second battery will be useful to attack this. They're really clever this time around. Or, I guess they've just had luck, maybe? We've managed to take 2. What is my artillery doing? They're firing for something over there, when they should all be aiming right about here. There's a few units out of that. Oh, they were aiming for... They put some decoys here just to confuse my artillery piece, firing all over the place instead. Come on, get a few shots there. Send that away. They still have the bucktails, and they still have, and this rest state militia. If I get the general and if I get the bucktails, the rest of them will go. Let's see. Are you getting back on your artillery pieces? How many cannons are we going to be able to use out of this one? Interesting spread in among the cannons. Hoorah! Right. If you start firing that one, how many shots will you actually produce from this? Okay, if I tell you to fire over there. Okay, we're gonna have to tell them to fire at the ground. Okay, so we're gonna get... These 2 are firing, this one's firing, this one is running to check what they're firing at. This guy as well. Okay, so this is completely bugged, isn't it? We're gonna tell them to get back on the cannons and see if we cannot get some shots at least going this way towards the enemy. How are you? I mean, they're firing at extreme range at the target they cannot really see. Are you even firing? Let's see, one shot. And is that it? Okay, now we get a few more shots. There we go, the entire battery is firing this way. Eventually, I imagine we'll hit something. And let's see, these guys are back onto the battery, and I'm gonna order them to target. Oh, you're not actually back on the battery, are you? Okay, now they're back on track. I want you to fire over there. We'll see what happens when we do that. Let's see if we can clear off these decoys. So we'll send this. What's wrong with my mouse? There. And then these three. Well, I actually only need one. So this volunteer. And the other two will go here. We can turn up the flank of the enemy and push forward. The thing is, it's technically us sieging them. So I guess we should actually get going on trying to attack them in one way or another. Most likely what we'll do is we'll upset them by attacking them in the flank first, forcing the line to turn, at which point the main front can advance unhindered from being shot at as they approach. Right, hold right there. Okay, you can't actually fire because the unit isn't close, but if I move you forward through there, then you will definitely go ahead and bayonet. What the hell? You haven't lost a single man, but yet you rout at the sight of the enemy artillery. They're not even limbered. Unlimbered, I should say. Right. So, I guess they... God damn it. They're broken just by the sight of the enemy. Right, are you actually firing? No, you're not. If I order you to fire over here, will you actually fire? Okay, these guys are mad. And they're not gonna aid us in this quest to take on the Union. We've taken a few guys out of these lines. Bucktails are gonna be difficult to deal with. And then just the fact that there's so many in the other units is gonna be difficult. Right, it completely broke and is not planning on coming back. Once the enemy loses their advantage in artillery, they should actually be advancing on us, shouldn't they? Go ahead and kill those guys off. Then I should focus my defense around the artillery piece. They're down to 9 pieces, so we actually got 1 piece here. So 9. So technically I got more, because I've got 15 artillery pieces, although 7 of them are not being used. Okay, they didn't actually bayonet kill those guys. However... Oh, look at that, they're advancing. They're advancing at this point. Can I get... Yes, I can advance through there. Let's try. Okay, these guys have dealt with that. Trying to come here, so we'll get these guys coming into the flank. being down here in this sort of hole is not a great position. Instead, these guys are gonna have to pull back a little bit. These, however, I think can stand where they are. The enemy will not be able to fire until they actually reach above there. So I think that will go just fine. Oh shit, their artillery has opened fire. Right. Oh, they're holding the line now. Go for the enemy artillery piece, actually. These three. It's gonna be difficult to deal with their bloody artillery. Okay, there was just a temporary halt. Now they're advancing against again. The howitzer is going to murder us if he gets a direct hit. For some reason they're firing for the cabin instead. Sir, we have located the Confederate headquarters. It's an old shack. You know how the Confederates like old shacks? What are the bucktails doing? Could catch them in an awkward position. So, we're really close to hitting that Confederate headquarters. We killed some of their firewood. Okay, they're all focusing in. Looks like all the militia units are focusing in on the Orphan Brigade. And it could possibly be that we could swing the volunteers up to hit these guys in the flank. For some reason they're putting the bucktails in the back. I'm hoping the Orphan Brigades should be able to deal with the one. Yes, look at that. They are. So we will be able to turn up the flank. I'm hoping. Okay, you will hold the front then to fight straight on with this unit, while you will be the one to hit them in the flank. Oh, they're firing at the reinforcement units. Oh, look at that. Right, the artillery piece then hit the bucktails. Why have they put them in reserves? Why are they not sending those guys to the front? If they send them to the front, they could actually they could actually break my lines. Now it's more like they are losing. Nice volley there. I think we can go ahead and advance over here. Given the fact that their artillery is not even firing... Oh, they're setting up to fire now. However, Greg's brigade is just in time to bayonet them. Should be able to deal with this one. And then turn up the flank. Got enough men here, over 500 against their 300. Thing is, the the Pennsylvania bucktails are not being used, but they're being hit by other fire, just fire that goes through and hits them. And unfortunately, quite unfortunately, as you guys could probably tell, the game crashed. So I had to play it again, and this time, knowing the enemy came in through the flank, I was able to anticipate that and win the battle a lot sooner, which probably is why I have been able to get quite a lot better victory this time around. But I think what I'll do is I'll just save the first battle, because I like that one more. The fact that I had trouble, the fact that the enemy kinda was able to break me up in the way they were able to do. So we're gonna keep that one, and I'm just gonna splice this end on it. Unfortunately, we didn't get that end, but as you know, the crashes and so forth, and at this point, so late in the campaign, I can't really be bothered with having to spend so much time just keep redoing the battles so many times, to the point where at this point I'm actually having trouble to keep. Normally I keep a few videos ready in case that we say I get sick, or maybe I don't have time to do one day, so I keep the regular schedule up. At this point I have burned through all of that, just because the previous battles have taken such a long time for me to complete. Got a single bloody artillery unit left in the middle of town. Probably tell the artillery to hold its fire. This battle, as we can see, due to the numbers and the units I still have, went pretty painless compared to the one which I showed you guys. I still like the other one better though, just because it was quite a hard fight. I think what you need to change around is probably I stretched my line too thin, and I should have kept reserves on more places, like behind the line, so to add on. I probably didn't need to keep that many men in the middle, and then I could have kept reserves in the back. Obviously knowing that the reinforcements were going to come through there, this time around I was able to anticipate that by placing the artillery and the men on a angle like this. But at this time as well, the cavalry was able to cut down the units on, or one of the volunteers on this side, so you really need to keep... Oh, here's one unit, I guess came back. So you really gotta keep those reserves in the back in case the enemy has cavalry. But there we have it. The siege of Boston is over. Second battle went a lot better than the first one, and yeah, the enemy now only controls 3 provinces: Central New York, Maine, and Yankton. Now I gave kind of towns and, well, Maine, I think Maine is actually called Maine, so I gave all the towns. I was a bit worried there, like I was giving out the states slash the what's it called? Anyways, let's go ahead and end it. Right, and here we have the statistics. As we can see, we deployed similar amount of troops, 4,300-ish, on both sides. I lost 1,800 men, the enemy lost almost everything, leaving only 400 men left. However, since it's a town, that means that it's all gone. Highest killers, we've got the Napoleon cannons, being able to inflict over 500 casualties each. And as we can see through here, right, you can take a look at that. With that said, I think we'll go ahead and end it right here. So for next one, I should have ended turn. And if the enemy goes ahead and drags its troops together to attack me once more. Otherwise, I think we'll have an easy auto-resolve at Maine. And actually the town is called Falmouth. So we'll have an easy auto-resolve there. Same with Yankton. And it leaves only one province left, which is Central New York, Rochester. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!